Hi guys, this is Daniel. I'm going to show you how to create an SVG in Adobe Illustrator and import it into SimpleDiagrams. And this is a great way just to get your own sketches into SimpleDiagrams and using them. SimpleDiagrams has some drawing tools, but they're not as powerful as some of the big applications like Illustrator or Sketch. So often it's good to just work in those and create SVGs and then bring them into SimpleDiagrams. Now, Adobe has this really cool program called Shape that kind of lives on your iPhone, and you can draw shapes in your with just pen and paper, and then take a picture of them, and it will create a vector-based image of your drawings. And I actually blogged about how to do this on the SimpleDiagrams blog a month or two ago, so you can check that out to see the basics. But what you'll see here is in my libraries, I was drawing some shapes of cooking stuff in my pad, and I used Adobe Shape to take pictures of them. And now in Adobe Illustrator through Creative Cloud is showing me all the shapes that I've drawn, and you can see they've already been transformed into vector-based artwork, which is pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is grab one of these shapes and create an SVG file and then bring it into SimpleDiagrams, and I'll show you how easy that is. So first, let's see, I think I'm going to take the mixing cup over here, and so first what I'll do is just create a new file, and I'm just going to make it 1,000 by 1,000 points, and we'll bring that down in a second. I'll call this measuring cup, appropriate name. So let me resize this so you can actually see it. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is, bring the mixing cup into my drawing, and you can see there it is. Now it looks like I had a little bit of an artifact at the bottom here when I scanned it in, so I'm just going to select that and delete it, and then do a Control A to select the whole thing. Okay, so there's my mixing cup. Let's see, so all I want to do really is first make sure that it's at X0, Y0, just so it's kind of registered correctly, so SimpleDiagrams will draw a box around it accurately. And then it's at the size is 427 by 349 pixels, and that's a kind of a bit big. If I were to do it this size, it's going to be kind of large on my SimpleDiagrams diagram. So what I'm going to do is do a Control A, and then I'll get my resize box here and just kind of bring it down. I'm holding Shift so it does it proportionally, and I'm going to kind of bring it down to maybe like 200 or something. That's a bit better size to work with. Okay, and then what I will do then is go to Object, Artboards, Fit to Artwork Bounds. So that's just going to make the white artboard fit exactly around the shape. The reason why that's important is, again, when SimpleDiagrams draws a box around your shape to give you handles for connecting or resizing, it wants to know the exact size of the shape, and this helps it know that. Okay, so I'm going to do a Control Plus just to zoom in a little bit and move over here. Okay, so at this point, I could export an SVG and we'd be fine. I could use that SVG in SimpleDiagrams. But what I want to do is add just a bit more information so SimpleDiagrams knows how to color both the strokes of my shape and the fills. I haven't even done a fill yet, so I'll do that next. So the way you do that is in the layer name. And here's my layers panel in Illustrator. And I'm just going to double click the name and change it to _stroke. Anything on an underscore stroke named layer will be used by SimpleDiagrams to color with the stroke color chip. So if you set your strokes to blue, everything in a underscore stroke layer will change to blue. Now I'm going to create a new layer called underscore fill. Now anything on this layer will be colored by the fill chip in SimpleDiagrams. So then I'm just going to grab the pen tool. I'm going to change my fill color to something that I can kind of see what's going on. I'll pick up blue or something. And then I'm just going to draw a fill shape. So I'm going to make this liquid here. What is this, blueberry juice or something? And then make sure that you finish your path and join it. So you can see now if I click this, it's going to make a complete path. There, done. Okay, so now I have blueberry juice as a fill and stroke, and now I am ready to export my SVG. So I'm going to go File, Save As, and to the desktop, I'm going to save measuring cup. I'm going to select SVG as the format, and I'm going to replace it. Yeah, I had done this earlier. That's right. So SVG is now saved on the desktop. So now you can see on my desktop here, here's the little measuring cup SVG. And what I'm going to do now is show you simple diagrams. Where simple diagrams? I don't know what they're doing outside, but it sounds dangerous. Where simple diagrams? Here it comes. Okay, so now I'm going to create a new diagram. And anytime you do your own SVGs, you want to create a custom library to bring them into. So I'm just going to do libraries, new custom library, and these are my cooking shapes. Not that I cook very much. And then I just drag it in there, and there's my measuring cup. Now, here's where it's kind of neat. If I drag this out and then I assign a stroke of red, you can see just the strokes are colored red. And if I assign a fill of green, then the fill is green. So that's it really. You just draw your shape anywhere you want, use Adobe Shape to capture it, bring it into Adobe Illustrator, do a little bit to define the stroke and fills in different layers, and save it as SVG. And you should be ready to go.